What's more important to you? The status you get from being in a leadership position, or the responsibility that you shoulder when you serve others? Hi, I'm Beth Strathman. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about a really foundational part of being a leader, and that is whether you emphasize the status and privilege that you get from being in a leadership position, or the responsibility that you have towards others, and even the personal growth that you can experience by becoming a leader. Traditionally, especially in ancient times, people underwent initiations to mark their readiness to enter a new stage of life. An initiation could indicate whether you were ready to become an elder or a leader in the group, amongst many other things. Not only did initiations mark passages in life, they could also reveal a person's purpose and talents. Each successive initiation required a person to examine themselves and to let go of qualities or behaviors that didn't serve them anymore as they experienced various initiations. They also identified their unique gifts and talents and grew more into their unique selves. The group learned to trust individuals to be in positions of power, like being a chief or an elder in a tribe, after they went through certain initiations. There is a traditional African story that illustrates the importance of initiation in terms of leadership. It involves a brother and a sister whose father had passed away. One day after his passing, the father mysteriously appears to them and waves them over to follow him. So they're amazed that he showed up, and they followed him. He led them down a hole into the ground, and down they went with him. When they went down, underneath the ground, there was an entire village that appeared, and their father led them to the center of this village. No one was around, and he motioned them to go hide behind some bushes and to watch silently from that vantage point. After a while, a crowd of people came to the center of this underground village, followed shortly by someone who looked like a really important person. But on one side, the side that the boy and the girl could see of this important person, they were covered in maggots. The people of the village gathered around this important person and started picking away the maggots and cleansing off this high status person. After they had done that, it was getting dark, so everyone in the village, including the important person, left. The brother and the sister stayed hiding until dawn. When the sun came up, everyone in this underground village reappeared along with that important-looking chief. This time, the chief was turned to the other side so the boy and girl could see the other side of them, and it was just covered in gold. So the people gathered around this chief and started anointing that golden side and brushing it with gold to make it shine. And when it finally gleamed brightly, everyone, the whole village, and the chief dispersed. After they were finished, the father reappeared and led his children back up through the hole that they had come down to get into this underground village. And he sent them on their way through life. Now, this story points out, of course, the duality of human nature, that you can have both a wonderful, bright, wonderful side of you with wonderful qualities, and then a not so wonderful side that can actually stand in the way of your expressing your unique wisdom and talents. And throughout your various experiences in life, you go through initiations, like I mentioned before. With the help of others, you can cleanse what is wounded and unwanted, like the maggot side, and polish the noble aspects of yourself, like the gold side. And this is especially important for those in leadership positions. Today, we're not as mindfully aware of the initiations we go through in life, even if we go through a ceremony. These initiations give us the wisdom to lead others. Also, our culture is much more outwardly focused on material things, the things that we can achieve as we climb in status. Thus, there are many people who are not really centered and ready to be in a leadership position. By the time they're offered one, much of the time they haven't figured out their own unique way of contributing, meaning often they haven't taken a hard look at their own maggots, so to speak, or worked to heal them. And they may not even have embraced their unique gifts and talents, their gold, by polishing them for the benefit of others. In our society today, most companies, too, are not very good at creating structures to support individuals to be ready to move into leadership positions of greater responsibility, especially the responsibility of working with others when you have some authority over them. The assumption that organizations often make, and this has been disproven time and time again, is that if someone is good at their job in a technical way, due to their technical skills, they'll be able to lead others effectively. And that's just not necessarily true. It's a whole different ball game. I know because I coach people who've been in this position. In a sense, I help my clients polish their gold and become aware of and decrease or get rid of and transform their maggots. So for these reasons and more, I think there is a fundamental mistake that we make about leadership, and that is, it's too often that we focus on the status and the perks that you'll get at each successive level of responsibility or leadership. It presumes that these perks say something about you, your worthiness, and your competence. It's very ego-driven. But many find that when they start supervising or leading others, that they're actually not as competent as they thought. Leadership always looks like it's easy when you're not in the position. Technical competence is not as helpful as people think when they get into leadership positions. In fact, technical abilities can actually get in the way of you being effective, because it's hard for you to understand how someone can't do a job that you did so easily, and now they can't do it as well as you did. When you haven't done the work on yourself and your focus is on what's in it for you, the status, then your leadership is not as beneficial as it can be to the group. Your inability to handle power appropriately, as well as your inability to handle yourself, becomes evident to everyone around you. So whatever those maggots are that you have, they are going to be magnified, and everyone around you is going to see them. Everyone around you can see your wounds and your shadow qualities much more clearly than you can yourself. So instead of focusing on the status and the perks, which are often really nice and you should enjoy them, shift your mindset instead to understand that with leadership comes greater responsibility to others. And amazingly, it's a great opportunity for your own personal growth. In fact, I see this over and over again. Situations will come up that seem almost tailored specifically for you to allow you to face aspects of yourself that you may need to question or reinforce and even transform in some way. So you can learn a lot about yourself in a leadership position. Leadership in my book is more about your responsibility to be in good emotional and psychological shape to lead others, to fulfill your responsibility to them, than it is about getting the ego boost of that elevated status and the perks that you get when you have an office in the office. When you understand this, you naturally look at yourself and how you must develop to meet this standard at each successive level that you have an opportunity to lead. After all, it's your healed and polished authentic self that will have the most to offer to your team, your community, and the world. Thanks for watching.